Hello and welcome back. I am Mondef, of course, and today I'd like to introduce you to my modular automatic storage solution for Feed the Beast. It uses a number of the different mods in Feed the Beast. This would work in the Direwolf 20 pack, the Mindcrack pack, and the upcoming Ultimate pack. So here is the idea. The idea is that we need a storage solution that's easy to build from the beginning of the game that is expandable to be useful at the end of the game as you progress through the content. And so what I've done is I've created a modular system that it grows and expands with you. Let me just go ahead and set the time to noon. We're going to start, the basis of this is an ender chest, and we're going to start with just white, and we're going to pump everything out of this ender chest. This is basically a dump chest or a return or items to be sorted chest. And by powering these, of course, now we're sucking everything out of that ender chest, and we're just going to put it into a couple gold pipes and then start a row. This is the basis of our sorter. We could, at the beginning of the game, just start attaching barrels and it would start sorting, but it's really not that expensive to get at least a few diamond pipes here and start creating some automatic sorting and reliable sorting. So the items are going to get pumped out into this gold pipe, which just helps them travel faster. You could use stone if you're short on gold. And then a diamond pipe, 2 gold pipes, a diamond pipe, 1 gold pipe, a diamond pipe, 1, 2, diamond, 1, diamond, 1, 2, diamond. This could go as far as you want. As far as I'll go, I'm only going to build 1 cell anyway. But these could be more compact. You could actually eliminate these 2 altogether and have diamond, gold, diamond, gold. But this makes it more usable, especially in the early part of the game. I'm going to use a gold pipe. This just, again, separates it. It could be any type of pipe. And then I'm going to add 9 diamond pipes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do the same thing on the other diamond pipe. 1 gold, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why 9? Because these diamond pipes right here, these are capable of sorting 9 items through, see, this goes green direction, so in green direction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can send 9 items down this row, and then I can sort them into 9 unique barrels. This makes it a very easy and very reliable sorting method. And then over here I do the same thing. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I like these barrels to face each other. I know it doesn't look like looks like they don't have, the faces or whatever, but when you put an item in it, they only appear on the face that you place them. So they face placing towards you. So they face towards you when you place them. Alright. Now, again, this is ready to go. This is the next kind of solution, the next position. I do recommend, as you're using this, that you set up a recycle or an overflow line, whatever you want to call it. That's basically is just this. And you'd use an iron pipe here, which I don't have on me. Let me grab an iron pipe. Iron transport pipe. I don't need the sandstone. And you do that, and you would pump this into some sort of chest or something. The reason for that is, say you've got, a chest for cobble, or barrel, I'm sorry, a barrel for cobble, but the barrel for cobble fills up. It's going to continue down the line. You want it to go somewhere, so you have a recycle line. Let's go ahead and program these. I'm only going to program 2 items, dirt and stone. So dirt and stone, they're going to both go towards green. The first barrel will be for dirt, so black, that goes down. And the second one will be for stone. Right. So now we're ready to sort all the stone and dirt. This will now automatically sort into these barrels so we can get access to them whenever we want. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Here comes our first piece of stone. There it goes. 100% reliable. This works fantastically well. Let's put an overflow chest back here and make sure that, let's see, I don't need the iron pipe anymore. And let's get a wrench, because I don't think I have one of those either. I like the prototype Omni wrench. I don't need that anymore. And like that, make sure that points into your overflow chest. So this is now my overflow chest. In the event that any of my barrels fill up, it'll go to the overflow chest. So this will work. This is great this is stage 1 of the storage module. Let's move on to stage 2 because this is pretty standard. A lot of people do stuff like this. Stage 2 involves these guys. These are filters, so red power filters, and we're going to stick them, oops, actually I want them facing up. Up underneath, let's just go ahead and place a roadblocks here. Just to place them against, I could use a screwdriver, but I'm lazy. Here we go. Up facing towards the barrel. So this will extract the items from the barrels. Right, same thing on the other side. And these cells are completely modular. The whole idea is that you could build as many or as few as you need. And so far this hasn't gotten that expensive. The diamond pipes are the most expensive part. But once you've got a quarry going, the diamond shouldn't be that much of a restriction. Alright, so pretty easy, right? These filters are just going to pull whatever's in the barrel, so I don't need to set a filter or worry about what they're pulling, how much of what they're pulling. I'm just going to let them do their natural job. But they do need power. And the power here means that I need to set up a row of blocks behind them so that I can power these objects. And this is why that extra space in this gold pipe here. So if I started my next cell here and I had the barrels and the filters, right, this allows me to run this wire in between them, which I didn't grab either, which I have to grab from survival inventory. Right, wire this, I'm just going to use red alloy wire, just standard stuff here. The standard red power wire. Right, and then if you went as well, I need a timer. So we'll grab a timer. And you only need one timer for the whole system. You could run this on multiple timers if you wanted to. In fact, if you're worried about like server load and things like that, running this on several different timers can be advantageous, since the items you use all the time, like your base blocks and your your storage ingots and whatever, those you might want to pull a whole lot of rather than your random stuff like slime balls and bones and things. You don't need access to whole tons of them all at once, so you might run a slower timer for them. But yeah, here we go. You can see it's already spitting items out to the bottom, one stack at a time. It's fantastic. That's exactly what we want. Not onto the ground, of course, that would be terrible. We want them sticking these into item tesseracts. I love these things. These are new blocks from thermal expansion, and they are amazing. They are, if you're familiar with me, you know I love routers from factorization. These are pretty close to replacing those in my idea of what is an amazing block. Okay, so barrels getting filled, these will pull it out and stick it into the item tesseract. The item tesseract needs to be programmed, and it's simple programming here. If you're playing on a server, I do recommend that you go ahead and set this to owner only. This will give you your own set of frequencies so that people can't steal from you. So that's a good idea. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this to frequency 2, and we're going to call this dirt. And we're going to go ahead and add that and hit check. Now, I already programmed stone. If you just click stone, you can see I've set that to frequency 1. So there we go, check mark. You can use just the numbers if you want. Setting these, actually, I should set that to private stone. There we go. You can set these with names if you want to, which is a good idea. That way you know what's going on, especially with this system. That way you don't have to think about which frequency is which item. You can always know that, oh, it's dirt, and no, forget about what number it is. Right? As long as you keep track of your numbers while you're building the system. So I would, you would go down here and you'd be like, this is whatever, and that's frequency 3. Again, private. Okay. So that's what that is for. It works great. Program as many of these as you need. Now these item tesseracts, yeah, these are a little bit expensive. This is a mid-game item. These require lots of ender pearls as well as a diamond for each one and a lot of ores. So again, if you've got a quarry, you've run it several times, and you have had a chance to farm up some endermen, especially if you have an enderman 5-tier shard that you're farming endermen with, that won't be a problem. But this isn't something you're going to build right off the bat. Like the barrel sort is pretty easy. You can build that pretty quickly. Right. So yeah, this is ready to go. Once you've programmed it, you can go ahead and cover these things up. You know, that way it's a little bit easier to get in here and work with the barrels directly if you need to. You could use red power covers to cover these. You could use, you know, whatever you wanted to kind of make the place a little bit nice, a little bit more homely. So yeah, so that's pretty good. So we're now filling item tesseracts with items, right? We've got an item tesseract full of dirt, and an item tesseract full of stone. If you're not familiar with these will output the items on the other side. If I set this to private, and let's say I grab dirt, right? This will now automatically start pumping out tons and tons of dirt, assuming that I hit the check marks, which I didn't check. I always hit the check. So there you go. It just starts pumping out dirt. Awesome, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's a teleport. It's a teleport pipe, basically. So we're now teleporting all the dirt that's in the storage system. I'm just going to go ahead and dump this stuff back in here, because I'll need it for later. Right? So what's the point of, you know, now anywhere you needed dirt, you could pull that out of an item tesseract if you had it programmed to the right thing. But that's not extremely convenient to have to carry item tesseracts with you and program them with wherever you're going and all that goodness. So what you would rather have is an ender chest that has dirt and stone and all this other stuff in it. So that's the next module that we're going to build. And I'm just going to switch out a few of my items. There we go. And this module is very easy, and the whole idea is that you should be able to build a whole bunch of these. Not a whole bunch necessarily, because they are a bit expensive. There are routers which cost some dark iron, and that's not that big of a deal. In my experience playing survival, I actually have the hardest problem getting enough eggs to make these, rather than iron or the ender eyes or whatever else, but there you go. And the item tesseract then, again, private. We're going to program this to dirt and hit the check mark. And now the router is now filling with dirt. We don't want it inserting into everything, because this is actually inserting back into the item tesseract, which is putting it into the router. So this is cycling, which can cause server lag as well as single player frame rate issues and things like that. So we do want to set this to a slot insert. Slot 0 is the slot that the Tesseract has. It has one hidden slot for storage, and it is slot 0. So you don't want to use slot 0, you want to use slot 1. And now we're not cycling items anymore, and this will fill with eventually with 64 items once our storage has 64 dirt. Right. Now, if I set one of these next to this, I can now program this one private to stone. Check. And stick the router on top of there. Same thing. Don't want it inserting into there. I want it inserting into slot 2. Right? So this will be slot 1, and this one will be slot 2. So now that one's got 64 stone, and this one's got 63 dirt. It's working on it. The storage solution is a bit slow with redstone engines, but they're warming up. They'll get pretty quick now. Pretty soon. Of course, you could upgrade those to electric engines if you felt so necessary for your setup. So now I've got dirt, and I've got stone. If I just slap an ender chest up on top of here, it's going to start filling that ender chest with these items into those slots. I'm going to try to quickly program this to be red, white, white, instead of white, 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 because that one's white, white, white. Actually, you know what? This is the best way. This is what we're doing. We're going to try to quickly program this into red, white, white. Okay. So now this is red, white, white. This is my, call it the blocks chest, right? When I open this up, I've got slot 1, keep in mind this is slot 0, slot 1 with dirt, and slot 2 is stone. And these are filling back up from the storage system. So now I've got an ender chest that always has dirt and stone in it. And if I pull the stone out, the ender chest starts filling up from the router automatically, which pulls through the item tesseract from my barrel storage. Pretty awesome. I love this. Now, imagine instead of having to carry around the chest with you, imagine you carry around with you an ender pouch, and you have access to that same chest. Wherever you are, you can pull out the stone. It refills from your storage, which pulls through the item tesseract to your barrel storage to refill it with stone. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. If you do this, I recommend carrying 2. And here's the other one that I recommend you carry: the white chest, your return chest, your dump chest, because if you have an ender pouch that's full of stone and full of dirt, you can't put it back in there. So you will want to use your return, and you just dump the items into the return chest, and the storage system will take care of it for you. Pretty sweet. Now, I've used 2 slots on a 27 slot inventory. Now let's talk about the rest of these. You can see these item tesseracts, they don't insert into each other. They don't you don't have to worry about crossing them. So you can now line these things up. I recommend a simple formation of 9 by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually the 9th one would go here since we didn't use this slot, right? And so this would be your formation. Oops. And go through and program each one of these to the specific item that you want to get. For example, if I want to get a stuffer, then I would program that to that one, hit check, and then slap a router on top of it. Tell this to insert into slot, what are we at, 1, 2, 3. And now, as far as whenever I have that in my storage, it would go here in slot 3. Now, we mentioned this one right here, slot 0. Slot 0 has a problem since the item tesseracts use slot 0 for their internal storage. So, how are we going to solve this? I don't know if you guys can hear my cats are angry. The easiest solution to this is a machine filter, and the machine filter is, in my opinion, the most expensive part of the entire system. And here's why. This logic matrix identifier requires a logic matrix programmer, which you can only get by finding it in the world. So if we shift right click that into the router, we get this dash, and now we can tell this to not visit all the machines in the network, because we specifically don't want it visiting the item, the Tesseract. So we only want it visiting the ender chest. And now we can go back and we can tell this to insert into slot 0 just fine, and that won't cause any issues or any interactions with the Tesseracts. That will insert just fine into the ender chest every time. Oh, I made a mess in there. There we go. Works fantastically well. These item tesseracts are not getting filled since this is only visiting ender chests. And if I use my ender pouch, I now have access to sandstone, dirt, and stone. So, these are the first 2 modules. Basic module and the upgrade for the storage barrel storage system, and the ender chest router system, which is a second module. I'm going to save the rest of the modules I have designed for my Let's Play series. So if you think this is a cool idea, follow me on there. If you like this video, leave a like and or a comment. Either way works great for me. I'm Mondef, and I'll see you next time.